Bright Horizons with
Deb,
and Jim.
good morning, everybody. Hola and buenos dias. We're back.
Buongiorno a tutti. And you're probably saying, "Wait, is today Friday?" I'm
No,
getting confused.
you know that we're here for you every week. We can't do it tomorrow, so we're here on a Thursday. We might be here on a Monday.
Thursday night live, Thursday morning live.
There you go. Or we might be here on a Sunday. Who knows? But we're here for you because we love you, and that's what it's all about. So, Jim, I'm going to hand it over to you.
I wanted to ask, do we have any birthdays or anything to acknowledge this week?
Actually, might as well. My mom's birthday is coming up. Mom in heaven, which is now
Yes.
for 15 years. We
Buon,
love you.
in Italian, buon compleanno.
Oh, thank you, Jim. September 23rd is her birthday, so I want to acknowledge that
That's
now.
beautiful.
And I'm if I'm forgetting anybody, please forgive me. Happy birthday,
And I
happy
think
anniversary, whoever it is
In
out there.
Spanish, isn't it Feliz Cumpleaños?
Yes, yes. Oh, you're good. See this
I'm
man?
becoming
He's incredible.
multilingual.
That's why this can only work with the Deb and Jim show. I'll tell you what. We hope you're having a great morning. And today we're going to discuss, Jim,
The power of love.
the power of love.
Yes.
You know, love is a four-letter word, and
A beautiful four-letter word.
Yes, it is. Love.
Oh, there was a song.
A lot of songs pertaining to love.
But the way you spelled it.
Love.
L is for the
L is for the way you look at me, and O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary, and E is even more than anyone that
I
you
messed up on
adore.
that.
Sorry.
Well, we had to start with a song this time
Very,
because
very
there is that song
extraordinary.
Love.
That's
So
right.
Each
Anyone that
letter
you adore.
stands for something very special.
It most certainly does. And you know, it's an intense feeling. Think about the different definitions of love.
Yeah.
Deep affection. Babies fill parents' heart with love. You know, just think about that. A new puppy. Just you love your husband. You can love
Yes.
your brother, your sister dearly. Different phases of
And
love.
that's what
So
I was
intense.
thinking of. The first love you feel is the love of your mother.
Absolutely.
Actually, probably feel it internally when you're inside.
Yes.
And then that moment of birth, you always see the photo of the mother cradling the baby when the baby's born.
I know.
And that is so important, that affection that you're feeling toward that baby. You know, that leads me to think about a lot of people have adopted children in the Soviet Union and some of the Eastern Bloc countries. And they've realized over the years that when they were adopted from orphanages, those children have psychological issues because they were not
Sure.
cradled and
They weren't comforted.
Comforted,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's so sad
That's
that.
very sad.
But it shows you that the love is so important psychologically for you to develop, that you want to really let the child feel that love immediately and
So
continuously.
true. So very true.
And it's just so beautiful for the mother to experience that with the baby at birth.
Well, it's the warmth, the
Yes.
passion, the tenderness, and the fondness, the adoration. I mean, it's everything. And, you know, it's, could be a deep affection for somebody else.
And then you feel it from your father, you feel it from any siblings, you feel it from aunts and uncles, grandparents. It's just beautiful how that love grows and grows and grows as you're a
Yes,
child.
and, you know, love is so amazing in so many ways because it hurts, it heals, and it's
Right.
also eternal.
Right?
Love is eternal.
And then
Thank-
there's the love of God, agape. Have you heard of that term, agape?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
The love of God and our love for God, which we can't even imagine the bountiful love that God has for us. It's just
Amen to that.
immeasurable, and someday we'll know it more personally. But it's just a beautiful,
Wow.
the most infinite love.
Absolutely. You know, when we laugh, we love. When we cry, we love. Think about that. When we laugh, we're loving. And when we
Yes.
cry, we're loving. When we're upset, we love. Why? Something happened to upset our spirit and provoke the
Right,
feelings.
right.
And your heart is feeling that love of happiness, greater happiness, lesser happiness. It's just extreme. That's why we thought we'd bring this topic to you, because I think a lot of times we're just so busy in life and we try to stay on our stage. We have to set our stage in life, and it's really important to be able to set the example. And even if you're not in the mood to set the example, once you start doing it, you create a habit, then life seems to be a lot easier,
Right,
because
more
it's not, it
positive.
doesn't have to be that difficult.
Right.
With the word love, it's
Right.
as simple as that.
Right.
We make it happen. We set our stage to where we can create a mindset of a matter in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, life would be so much easier if everybody expressed that
Oh,
feeling
wouldn't
of
it
love,
though? Wouldn't it
rather
though?
than competitiveness and jealousies and other things
I
that enter
know,
into
I
it.
know, and love is not always easy, and love can also be overwhelming, but we all go through it in life. We're
And
on
I,
this.
and I think of unconditional love. Who gives us unconditional love? Our pets. Think of all
Oh,
shakers.
you know, I was last night. Greg and I were watching America's Got Talent. We love that show, and there was a commercial, and this cutest little puppy. I said, "Oh my God, my that little
Did it
face."
look like Shaker?
Oh, a little powder puff, and
Oh.
Shaker was like a little powder puff at
Right.
the age of 8 weeks old. So, and I miss him terribly. So does Greg. But down the road, when the time is right, we will be ready. And the love is really extreme. The unconditional love that they
and
give
it was
you.
so funny on Facebook a few weeks ago. There was a video of dogs and just the wagging of the tail, you know, because
Yeah,
that shows
yeah.
they're so happy to see you always. When you walk into the door, who's there? The first one is your
Aw.
pet.
And that is such a. We were laughing because when we, it wasn't funny when we lost Shaker. I was telling my brother David. I'll never forget. I said to him, I said, you know, my heart aches. It's so different now when I go home. There's no Shaker. He says, well, what about Greg?
He's wagging his tail when he gets
That's
to see
not
you.
what I meant. Of course, but it just that as you just got done saying, it is so true. So excited, jumping on you. I mean, Greg doesn't say, "Hey, I'm your," but the dog does.
Come
you
on,
know?
Greg, you got to start being more excited when Deb gets home.
But that was kind of cute in a way, you know. It's funny.
It is. But it's amazing because dogs will be looking out the window for you.
Oh,
the
Shaker did that all the
anticipation.
time. Yeah.
Some
yeah.
of them will just be sitting by the door for hours waiting for you to come home. I mean, it's just
We have
there's really no other love so unconditional as a dog's
absolutely
love for you.
His
It's just so
indent,
beautiful.
believe it or not, is still in our big chair in our living room because he plopped his little body in that one spot, and it's indented. But I love it, and it's not going away
Right,
anytime soon.
that's Shaker
That's
there.
a Shaker's chair, regardless.
And his spirit is with you always.
Absolutely, and we know the movie. I was thinking about, remember Love Story?
Yes.
Oh my God, Ryan O'Neal and Ally McGraw was it?
Oh, yes.
Never having to say you're sorry. I thought
Right.
about that movie. That is one of my all-time, out of many, many movies that I adore. And
It is beautiful.
you know, I do want to say something.
Mhm.
I happen to see this actually on Facebook. It's from Katharine Hepburn. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
You will always be too much for some, too soft, too this, too that. But you will always be perfect for the people who really love you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that great? So I wanted to bring that up in today's show because that is true.
Mhm.
And I just got goosebumps because it was very profound and I had to bring that up.
Yes, I love that. And then you think about the love of friends. You know,
Absolutely.
It's all different types of love, but
I love you, Jim. I love you
we
very
have-
much.
And it's a mutual love.
And I mean, it's wonderful to
Friendship
be
of any
blessed.
15 years of friendship. It's just
Amen.
beautiful.
I think it's a wonderful thing, and we feel very blessed. And you love your neighbors also. You have great neighbors.
Right.
You know, just love to the best that you can. You don't have to go, oh, I love you, or I
Right.
love myself. But it's just important to uplift yourself and uplift
and you're uplifting others when you express that love to them.
Absolutely.
Now, who was your first crush, love of boy that you remember that you had your first crush on?
Barry Williams, the Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay, I thought maybe someone in the
Oh.
neighborhood.
Oh, in the neighborhood.
Okay.
I don't know what it
So
was
wait a
about
minute,
him, but it just-
Okay, celebrity Barry Williams. Okay, so let's go.
I had a
with-
couple of crushes, and they hurt too. They're so hurtful,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes, but who was the first boy you had a crush on? Do you remember? In
I
grade
do.
school,
Oh,
or how old were you?
Oh, I was 10.
10. Okay.
I was 10 years old, and his name Keith
Keith.
Luckett.
Okay.
Blonde hair, looked like a little beach boy.
Did he live in the neighborhood?
Yes, he most certainly
Okay.
did. I was born and raised in Manhattan, so we lived in a apartment building, and he was one of my brother's friends, and he was just so cute.
Right.
And my heart go, ah. I mean, at that age, you're like, puppy love. And I
did he express any feeling for you?
Yes,
or-
he did, and
Oh,
I'll
he
never
did.
forget. And this is the God's honest truth. Set aside from Barry Williams, he gave me a kiss one day, and I started to cry. And it's as a young girl, I was like, oh. And I do remember that. It's funny you should bring that up because Keith, blonde hair, blue eyes, and he was like just adorable. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like yesterday coming back to me.
The reason I mentioned that is
Crushes
because
are wonderful, but they do hurt.
my first crush was at kindergarten. Can you believe I was a really early bloomer? Every day, Wendy
Casanova.
Every day, Wendy Dancing and I would kiss goodbye after school.
Oh,
Imagine a
that's
kindergarten.
Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet.
And then after, I don't have any recollection of her after that, but it was funny that year of kindergarten, we had this friendship, little puppy love going. Which
And they called
the
it puppy love, even though we da da da.
Paul Anka.
Yeah, that's right. What are the lyrics on it? And they called it puppy love.
And it's funny I think probably that
Just
term
because yeah.
derived from that song, because I
It
tried
had
to
to,
research
because
it
it's
last
perfect.
night, Puppy Love, and the only thing that came up was that the song itself.
Right.
So I didn't know how that really started, other than the song. And then I was just going back and thinking about growing up. We were friends in different groups in the neighborhood. I grew up in New York too, and I would play with some friends, and some of them were girls, and then I had a crush on a girl named Candy. She had red hair.
Candy.
So
how
this is
cute. I
going
like
on
that.
like
Candy.
maybe 8 or 9 or 10, So I thought that was interesting, because that sometimes happens when you're with friends. You develop a feeling for someone else in the group.
Of course.
Yeah. Did you have that experience?
Growing up, I had my girlfriends that we were close, my brother's friends. We would Girl Scouts, Cub
all
Scouts,
the
Boy
different-
Scouts. I mean, so we got a
Right.
group of people. Marianne, who watches us on the show. There's Ann Kelly. There's a lot of people that I grew up with, and we always had a tight knit group, and
Yes.
we cared for one another as friends. And believe it or not, when I moved away from New York, I'm one to keep things because it's so dear to my heart. If you give me a letter that says I love you, I'm going to hang on to that because
Right.
that's just the way I am. Now, I'm better today. I was more of a pack rat. But I happened to go through some letters at the age of 12 that I found I still have.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
wonderful.
the postage, the envelopes that go with it, because I still love writing letters to my girlfriends when we moved. So, yeah.
Yeah, I used to go away for the summers, and I would write to my friends. And I
Those
would
were the
save
days.
some of
Wasn't that
those
great?
letters.
You said, nothing like I love handwriting to begin with.
Right.
I enjoy handwriting and I enjoy reading a letter. And to me, when I get a card in the mail or you give me a card,
Right.
that touches me more than you'll ever know
And I-
because
yes.
it came from the heart.
Right.
You went out of your way. You didn't just send me a text. You didn't
Right.
send me an email. You took the time
Right.
to go buy me a card and put your thoughts on it, and I love that.
And I was thinking back, I used to wait for the mailman to deliver the mail.
Oh, I remember doing that as well. Oh my God, that is so funny. You bring back time. The society has changed so much. My goodness gracious. Now it's like, oh, mail, who cares? Bills.
Right. But especially in
no,
the summer,
it's true.
being away
Nobody
from my
sends cards
friends.
anymore. Not enough, anyway.
Being away from my friends, it was so nice to receive the letters, and
It was.
read
You
them.
look forward to it.
the write a
and
response, but
it was like, oh, remember pen pals?
Yes.
I had a pen pal, and I was just, that was the hottest thing growing up. But it was so enjoyable.
How long
Boy,
did
oh
you carry
boy.
that on? Do you remember how many years?
It wasn't very long,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
a couple of months. I just thought I would try, but I really enjoy. Today, I still send cards. Christmas every year, I try to be on top of it. But social media, things change. Everyone's texting and
Right.
emailing and e-cards and what have you, and that's lovely too. It's all lovely, but it's maybe I'm old school that way to a certain degree. I like that old-fashioned way of doing
And then my
things.
first love, true love. The childhood loves are not really true love unless it develops. Like my sister met my brother-in-law John in high school, so that love started to develop in high school,
Of
and
course,
now
yeah.
they've been together 48 years. But my first love would be in college. My girlfriend at the time was Lisa, and I pinned her, fraternity pins. Remember
Oh,
those?
yeah. You're my girl. I'm going to pin you. I'm pinning you. You're it. Yep.
And
Yep.
a lot. In fact, at that time I was in a fraternity, so a lot of the guys had girlfriends, and the pinning was the ritual that you would have. And they'd be over at our fraternity house having meals with us. It was really a nice atmosphere to develop those relationships.
Oh, absolutely, Jim. Absolutely.
My fraternity brother Jeff Hadeen, who watches us, he and Ruth developed their relationship in
Hi,
college.
Jeff. Hi, Ruth.
She was in Ithaca College. We were at Cornell, and they developed their love. And I remember her quite often at the house. In fact, I came across he had posted a photograph of our fraternity house
Oh.
that's still over I think he said over the fireplace at the fraternity house our year, and it shows all the couples there with our girlfriends and fiancés.
Wow.
Jeff and Ruth are married now many years, so it's beautiful that those love.
That's a love story
relationship
in a very,
blossom,
very
yes.
special way. Yeah, absolutely. It's like my parents when they were growing up. My father, he chased my mom all over the place. From what the stories were amazing. He
It was an
Couldn't
instant
he
love.
was I was
guess.
instant
Yeah.
15, 16 years old,
Instantaneous.
and they were childhood sweethearts, and yeah, it's a wonderful
That's
thing.
so beautiful when it happens like that. You know,
Yeah.
you meet the person, you feel that magnetism toward each other. There's a charismatic energy flowing.
Absolutely.
And it's just so beautiful how it happens that way.
You know, and another thing I had thought about, I can't get over some people I like saying, hi, how are you, if I'm at Publix supermarket or Walgreens or CVS, whatever. And I remember, this is going back about 6 months ago, but I was checking out
Right.
a Publix supermarket, getting just a couple odds and ends. And there was a worker, lovely young man, bagging the groceries. And he looked up, he had this beautiful smile, very happy, and you could see clearly he was loving his job, loving the day.
That's beautiful.
And you could see clearly when people do that. It was not an act, it was just him genuine, him being very, very genuine. And I said, how are you today? He goes, I am blessed by the best and I pray for the rest.
Wow.
Well, I stood there and I said, I was so struck by that comment. That statement just touched me because who says that?
I
You know,
that's
it was
beautiful
just like,
for
wow.
a young person to say that too.
Who says that?
Yeah.
But he just continued with that smile. I said, that's a beautiful statement. I said, you really are a special man. He said, well, thank you, because you have a blessed day. I mean, I had to share that with you because
I like how you said that because
you don't
I'm
realize
always cognizant.
he made my day by doing that.
I'm always cognizant of how people will reply to you when you
Absolutely.
say, how are you? The one that disturbs me a little bit is can't complain. That I say to them, well, if you want to complain, I'll listen, you know.
But try not to.
But I'd like to hear it's a great day or, you know, something positive rather than can't complain.
That's so
Yeah.
funny you should say that too, because you know the commercial for Publix supermarket, Publix where shopping is a pleasure.
Right.
And I've got to tell you something. I have had wonderful at Publix. If you're watching,
Yes.
or any of the workers there, I have to say you're doing an awesome job.
Yes, thank you, Publix.
Publix, we
you.
love you because where I live, there's a Publix and there's another lovely, lovely lady. I don't know if she's still there. It's been several years already since I moved away from that development. But Cheryl. How are you? I'm just marvelous. I'm marvelous, honey. And how are you? And how's Greg? I mean, just automatic. And to me, that is so special. It didn't matter what day. I would shop at Publix 3 times a week sometimes. And same response. I'm marvelous. I'm just marvelous. How are you? I
Well-
mean, that is really special.
Well, I go to a Publix in Jupiter on my way to the
Marvelous?
office. Yes.
That's great. I love it.
I go to a Publix on my way to the office, and I usually stop by and pick up a few things. And there's one particular cashier that I always go to because when I say to her, how are you, she says, blessed.
Oh, I love it.
And I always say to her, you're my blessing, because it's just a blessing to encounter someone like that
Absolutely.
who's so positive in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, it's wonderful.
Oh, my
So-
goodness gracious. It's just so
So
important.
Publix, it's true, your staff is wonderful. And speaking
I've
of
had
staff,
a lot of. I shop there. I personally like it at all the supermarkets. I really do.
speaking of staff, there's a restaurant in Jupiter called Culver's. It's a
Culver's, I've heard,
Culver's,
yes.
yeah. It's and a friend of mine actually, Debbie, actually owns it and started it there. But the staff, speaking of staff, they are the most respectful. You hire the most wonderful people, Debbie.
Oh,
It's
nice
just,
to
and I
hear.
told her that the other day when I was there, because when they take your order, they'll say, "What can I prepare for you fresh today?" You know, it's just a beautiful
Oh, I love that.
question.
I mean, they go out of their way
Yes.
to make you comfortable.
And they're smiling,
Right,
and
right.
if you go through the drive-through, they come out and bring you
Mhm.
and it's just a wonderful experience. Besides, the food is terrific. But thank you for the positivity of your staff, Debbie.
You know,
Culver's.
speaking of restaurants, Greg and I had stopped. We had to go to the bank yesterday after I left here. I picked him up and we went together. And then we stopped to get a quick pizza because we didn't feel like cooking. And it was pizza night, not Friday night, Wednesday night. So he took me to a little place called Avanti's. And I loved it so much. It's nothing special. It's so cozy. You walk in, they have karaoke.
Wow.
Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday. And then live music Friday and Saturday. Wait, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday karaoke. Friday and Saturday live music, and it's so, I cannot explain the atmosphere, but the ambiance is just fabulous, and I could hardly wait to go there for dinner.
Terrific.
And it's off the side of Okeechobee, to where I would have never noticed it, but
Right.
Greg had noticed it. And
What night were you
this-
there? Was it karaoke?
No, last night
Oh.
was the first time that he took his. I want you to see this place. You're not going to believe it. It's
Right.
so adorable.
Right.
You walk in. It's nothing big, but it's the decor. Something about the people. Hello, how are you?
The staff always makes a difference, I'll tell you that.
That's the first
Yes.
impression.
Yes.
And first impressions are so important, whether it's a business or anything. We all know that.
And that's a degree of love. You know, you're expressing
absolutely, yeah.
positivity and
And
love,
they were
for,
very
love for
friendly.
humanity,
Yeah.
for all the customers that come through.
Yeah.
Beautiful experience.
Now, you want to do another song?
Yes, we have to.
Now you know.
Now tell
We have.
tell our viewers which song you wanted us to play.
Now, which one do you want to do?
Let Your Love Flow.
Okay. You know this song by the Bellamy Brothers? Let Your Love Flow. So here we go.
We're going to just start with
We're
them,
going to
and
start
then
with
we're
the
going to
music, and then we're going to take over on the lyrics. We may not sing the whole thing, but we'll get it out there to you. There's a reason for the sunshine sky. There's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide and go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream and let your love grow with the smartest of dreams and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing and let your love find you to all living things and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. Okay, we'll
Love
go
that
on and on,
song.
but you'll probably say enough.
We didn't have our tambourine. We have to remember tambourine
Oh,
next
well,
time.
I just did. Oh, yeah. Well, here's another song. We can Okay.
You know what I really, whenever I at a wedding, I love the reading from Corinthians.
Oh.
So
Go
I wanted
ahead.
to read
Read
that.
it. Please do.
This is a reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians.
I
And by
love
the
it,
way,
love it, love it.
I'm a lector at church, and Deb is going to be a lector at her church soon.
Yes.
So we want, as
Holy name.
accountability partners, we're going to keep asking Deb whether she's contacted them
Yes.
and enrolled to be
I
a lector.
promised myself and I promised Jim, yes, we will go back.
Okay.
I will go back because it's
Beautiful.
what I want.
Yes. It's a gift, and you want to proclaim the word of God.
absolutely.
So this is a reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, strive eagerly for the greatest spiritual gifts, but I shall show you a still more excellent way. If I speak in human and angelic tones, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away everything I own, and if I hand over so that I may boast and do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it is not jealous, is not pompous,
That's right.
it is not inflated, it is not rude, it does not seek its own interests, it is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury, it does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with truth.
Yes.
That bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails.
The word of the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Just
beautiful.
And that's usually at weddings that you hear that as one of the readings.
It's gorgeous. I just adore them. I'm so glad you brought that, Jim. Thank you for that.
Okay.
That's really beautiful. So today, let's try to love more and complain less. Count our blessings and stand back and watch how your actions can and will change someone's life for sure. And we'll get through this.
Yes.
We'll get through every
Beautiful.
day.
Together
we'll be
we
here
get through every day.
week for
Yes.
you to try to uplift you and uplift us.
And I can't go without having a little bit of an Italian in our song. That's Amore.
I love it. So here we go. In Napoli, where love is king, when boy meets girl, here's what they say. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore.
Bells will ring, ring-a-ling-a-ling, ring-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing
Vita Bella.
Lucky fella, I think. Hearts will play, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the star makes you drool, just like
pasta fazool, that's amore.
when you dance down the street
with a cloud at your feet, you're in love.
When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore.
Excuse me,
but you see
like an old Napoli.
That's amore.
Amore.
Woo!
this morning.
All right, we got the Italiano in there.
You know
Love
that,
it.
what movie that was from? Moonstruck.
Moonstruck, Cher.
Cher,
Great,
Nicolas Cage.
Great, yes, Nicolas Cage.
Danny
outstanding.
Aiello.
Danny Aiello's, I adore him.
He was
I
Johnny. That
love-
was her first
What a
boyfriend.
great actor.
Olympia Dukakis
Yes,
was the mother. What a wonderful
she reminds
actress.
me so much of my mother-in-law, who's passed away now for some time.
Oh.
But she's identical to my mother-in-law.
And
Very
then
small.
Vincent Gardenia was the father.
Yes,
the other
yes.
one.
Wonderful, wonderful cast in that movie.
Now, what was the song that you and Greg had for your wedding song?
Restless Heart was the name of the group. I'll Still Be Loving You.
It's beautiful.
You know the
Yeah,
song?
yeah, yeah.
Restless Heart, I'll Still Be Loving You, and I'm going to remember it now. Okay.
Well,
I'll still be loving you. Oh my
It's a
goodness
beautiful
gracious!
song.
It's Restless Heart.
Yes.
I'll still be loving you. And for the love of God, why can't I get the lyrics in my
Because
mind
I
right
caught you
now?
off guard. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. It was only our wedding song. Actually, it was Greg's pick, and I loved it. It was really perfect. So.
It is. I mean, look at the title alone. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Restless Heart. I'll still be loving you. I'll
Beautiful.
still be loving. I'll still be loving you.
Yeah, beautiful verse.
If I knew the lyrics, and I do, I think maybe we a little sung too much. I don't know. Caught off guard. What can I say? Anyway.
Well, I'm happy you remembered the song. That's the main
That's the
thing.
most important thing. Right? Oh my God. Now it's going to bother me. I'm like, I have to sing it now.
That's beautiful. So,
Yeah.
in a future show, we'll have Deb sing. Never stop. What's it called?
I'll Still Be Loving
I'll
You.
still be loving you.
By the group Restless
That's
Heart.
the heart. Yes.
I'll still be. When you.
I'll still be loving you. It's beautiful.
Oh, anyway. And we did the Tarantella. Colalala's did the Tarantella.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun. Our wedding was really, really, it's spectacular, really. It was
Those
great.
Italian weddings are always fun.
They are. And I had the girls in black, and believe it or not, I had the girls matching the guys, very small. My dearest friend Nancy, I love you. Mwah, if you watch, I know you watch. And my sister Lisa, and my brother David, and Lisa's husband Phil. So 2 best men, it was done differently, and
Right.
2 matron of honors.
Right.
And no flower girl, black and white, holding in church, and it was really just a simple but elegant evening sit-down dinner, and we danced the night away, and oh boy, we had a great time. And we did the Tarantella. It was fun, fun, fun.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. What
Beautiful
memories? 4th of
memories.
July, too.
Love,
Doing
love,
the
love.
Tarantella.
30, how many years?
It's going on 35
Wow.
in
beautiful.
July. And I don't know where time goes, but please, this is why we love doing this
35
show.
years of love. It's a testament to love.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
So, and again, I said earlier, whoever has an anniversary, happy anniversary to you, and many, many more. Oh, I know who has it. Caitlin and Brian Gomez, Nancy's daughter, and her
Okay.
son-in-law, and they just had their beautiful baby boy, Bryce Gomez.
Oh,
He's a doll baby.
congratulations.
He is so, in fact, I'm going to tell you, Nancy, and Caitlin and Brian, you need to get him into commercials. He is a doll. He's so cute. I have to show you pictures. I don't have my phone with me right
He
now.
could be
but-
the new Gerber baby.
Oh, I love it. So just keep that in mind. He is adorable. They just celebrated their anniversary. So happy anniversary, Caitlin and
That's
Brian,
beautiful.
on the 15th.
Beautiful, beautiful.
They've been
beautiful.
together for quite some time, but they're a lovely couple and they're building a beautiful life. So happy anniversary, guys. And
What a difference a day makes.
what a difference a
A
day
day makes.
makes.
24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain.
What a difference a day makes. And the difference is you and you and you. And you better believe you make a difference. You make a difference to us. We love you all. And after all that,
Thank you for
love,
watching.
love, love.
Yes.
Simple things in life that really do make a difference. We'll be back next week for sure.
And we want to remind you to keep
Your
Your
horizons
horizons
bright.
bright.
Always. You know how we feel about that. And also, we are coming back next week with a guest.
Yes, so we hope you'll enjoy
wanna
it
read
as
into it,
much.
Maria, or just-
No, we're going to surprise you with a guest next
Okay,
week.
great. We won't say another word.
So we want you to feel that anticipation. Who will be their first guest? And then we will continue to have guests periodically. So we really are excited about that, and we will love to share that with you.
All right.
So,
So
thank
we
you for
will
joining
see you
us.
next week. Enjoy the day. Stay blessed. Be blessed.
Feel
and
love.
Keep that love flowing.
Feel love and